Welcome to the day of visuals, references, meshes, textures, vertex painting, decal, and props. That is what we are going to talk about today. Welcome to the second devlog. With the basic of the previous week, I headed toward building the first apartment. The apartment that will cover the demo. So I opened Blender and realized that I didn't remember the shortcuts and other basics, so I had to make a step back and create my second donut. With that knowledge back, I headed toward building the apartment in Blender. However, again, before even pulling a cube, I sketched some ideas about how that might be, and surprisingly, my errors in measurements bring something really interesting for the shape. That look like doodles, it's actually quite useful for me, because I had to imagine everything from the beginning and spot events around places I thought it would be interesting and surprising. Not everything is out now, something will come later. But I also have thought about the official release and how that randomization will be. Let's get to the point. The first was to create the simplest shape of the apartment and test that everything fitted in this theme. I had to check collisions that, by the way, I had to create custom collisions because Unreal didn't get that precise at first. With that, I tested that mannequins could go through doors and every single other place of the house. Also, I checked that light didn't come through walls and other something weird stuffs. With that in place, I decided to fix the issue about textures. One of the main reasons I found was that every wall and floor in the apartment has different dimensions, what caused that textures get stretched and doesn't fit correctly. So, to solve this, I learned a bit about textile density and applied what I learned. As you can see here, every wall, floors, and ceiling in the house has the same textile density, that little squares, which cause that everything looks more organic. Before going any further, I had to make the windows so that I could make the holes in the walls and check everything around before even thinking of texturing. So I grabbed some references about the kind of window I was looking for and I created the simplest shape for it. I had some comments about how to improve that, but I'm going to keep those details for the final release rather than the demo. It gives the feeling, if I pay attention to details so much, the demo will be released in many months or even years. Perfection is good, but also perfection kills you, so let's bring a balance. The point right now is to bring a demo that creates sensations and scares, and that's what I'm aiming for. With that in place, I create the texture in Mixer, but unfortunately, my computer kinda dies when I use it, so I pick a pre-done texture that works and brings the sensation I'm looking for. Later, my idea is to randomly create all those aspects, randomly select the textures, the distributions, the keys, and other aspects that brings different final results within a range. I'll talk about later when the demo releases. And I'll explain what the final game should look like. As I said in the previous devlog, in the demo everything will be scripted. One thing I had to spend a lot of time on learning was on creating the raining texture. I had to review it later when the night environment with thunderstorm comes around so that it brings the shadows that I want, but by now it's looked quite good. When the time to fill the apartment came, I had to build the reverse process. What was there before and how did it fall apart? That's where vertex painting comes really handy. With that technique, you can make several layers and paint on top of each other, so that at first you have pure concrete wall, later the wall decoration that will be randomly selected, and on top of that, custom aspects like this burnt wall texture. I tried to mix my story, what happened in this apartment. For example, the floor has its original floor and on top of that, dust or soil and later rubble. I'm trying to not explain much about it because I don't want to make spoilers. Well, once everything was up, I filled more the gaps and bring things more alive with some leakage decals, rubble, bloody events, which again, later will be randomized with a logical purpose, some clues about the final enemy not present in the demo, and other stuff I cannot spoil you about. Again, here I put a limit in details. I can improve this way more, but I try to find a balance between time results and feelings. I think in general it's good, and with poor lighting, way better. Here you have a short daily footage. People are coming to the Discord server and well, it's quite good. They give me feedback and even some ideas directly or indirectly. And even if it's not done at first for the demo, everything gets noted in my plan. Sooner or later, if everything goes okay, I'll bring those aspects. To coming near Eeriest, I use the action triangle that Henrik Nyberg, coach at Mojang, you know, Minecraft, showed in his talk. Initially you start alone, but as soon as people, the target audience speaks, you have to listen, otherwise you have higher chances to be out, and not only that. Maybe what is important for me, it's not important for you, so in this triangle, if 3 points are joined, it must be done. But if only one is present, maybe those ideas with 2 points should have priority. When the demo is published, I'm going to watch all the videos and streamings online to study the reactions and their gameplay's ideas, even how they try to break the game, how fast or slow they go. But by now, that side data is closed to the people I show the project at home. But if you want to follow this project closer, join our Discord community. I bring new photos or comments almost every day, link in the description. In the next version, things will get even more interesting, because after the next one, it will come the demo release. So, in the next version, I'll bring the night environment, the storm lighting effects, sound in general for mannequins, the player, lights, and the death animation and the mannequin attack system that was missing. Now, mannequins will be a real problem, and I stress that when a mannequin strangles you, the music and the release system will make you panic. I see you in the next devlog.